Joanna Maclean here from Digital Schools Award Scotland, and I'm joined with Sarah Jenkins, who's joining us from Dundee. Hi Sarah, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So I thought it would be quite useful today for us to look at the journey that Rosebank Primary School had when they achieved their Digital Schools Award status. Can you tell us a little bit about the school, its location, size, number of teachers, etc.?
Yeah, so we are a city centre school in an area of high deprivation in Dundee. Our school roll is 269. We have 9 classes and we're based on a community campus, which consists of 2 schools, a nursery and a community centre. 68% of our pupils live in an SIMD area of 1 or 2, and 36% of pupils have English as an additional language. So we have 42 different languages and dialects that are spoken within the school.
Wow, that's incredible. So I suppose it'd be interesting to know that since you've achieved that Digital Schools Award, how have you maintained the high standards in your approach to embedding digital technology in the curriculum? Can you describe how you lead the school on a sort of continuous development journey?
Yeah, so to give a little bit of a background, Rosebank were in the first cohort of schools to receive the award in the whole of Scotland, so way back in 2017. And our school have gone through lots of changes since then. So we moved to the new building and we've got new management. The teacher that led the application retired and I joined the school. So we kind of, although we had the award, we kind of had a bit of a fresh start when we moved to the new building. And we had to look at how we were going to take it forward from there. They had a really good reputation across the city as a school that uses lots of technology and they're quite innovative, but we wanted to carry that on. So our vision, I guess, was that we wanted to upskill the staff. I should have said our school roll also doubled. So we got lots of new staff. So we really wanted to make sure we were constantly upskilling staff and delivering a curriculum to equip pupils to be adults in the 21st century. So the first thing was that lots of the technology used to be based in IT suite. And in our new building, there's no longer an IT suite. So we had to invest in devices that could be used in the classroom. And that's actually been brilliant for making sure that technology is used when it's most appropriate, rather than just at the set time each week that your timetable to go and log on. So that's worked really well. And within our school improvement plan for the last few years, we've had a real strong focus on internet safety across the school. We've made links with Google and we've been using the Internet Legends programme. Google actually came to our school in 2019 and did a whole campus assembly, which sort of launched the use of those materials. And that went down really well. They returned this year, albeit in a virtual mode, virtual capacity. And they did another whole school assembly where each class was able to tune in and they'd speak directly to the classes and they'd chat to the pupils individually and things as well. So internet safety has been a big focus, and our other big focus is accessibility. So our use of inclusive technology to support pupils with ASN needs and also our English as an additional language. And the way that we've taken that forward this year is we've invested in Clicker 8, which is a child-friendly word processing app with many accessibility features. We make a lot of use of Immersive Reader in the translation aspect of Immersive Reader. It really helps. And we've also began using the Seesaw app. The voice recording in that app has been really helpful for giving pupils feedback and for getting feedback from them. And then as far as how we are delivering technology across the curriculum, my job this year, I am a class teacher, but I have been non-class committed. So I've been given the sort of scope to focus purely on technology. And obviously with lockdowns and things, I've had other things that I've had to cover in between, lots of passwords and resetting passwords and supporting parents and things, which has actually worked out well in the long run. But the idea is that I would, instead of covering RCT in classes, I go in and teach with the teachers. So I'm working through the progression pathways, but teaching alongside the teacher. So they're being upskilled at the same time as we're working with the pupils. We've also developed a digital classroom in the school. So this was my class last year. They were a primary 6 class. And that consisted of technology so that each pupil had access to a device throughout the day. So they had their own laptops, but also a flexible seating approach. So we had standing desks, We had individual little node chairs that had like the lap tray that would come across and they could put their laptops on there, beanbag seats, tables that connected together to work in partnerships, or they could be individual, or they could be in a big circle. And the pupils were able to sort of choose the kind of the particular seating that would suit the learning that they were doing at the time. And it was really all about collaboration. So that classroom has been the sort of basis for where we've started, and we're now using the things that worked well that year, we're rolling out amongst the rest of the school. So some of the seating options are also going into other classes. They have lap trays. Everyone's now got a standing desk to give the pupils that opportunity to stretch their legs and yeah, make best use of that. The culture within the school now, now that we've started to use Seesaw, my class used it that year, the year that we started that classroom. And it was, at that point, we wanted to share what was going on in school with the parents. The parents were like so excited about this new classroom that we designed, and they came to see it and then they wanted to know more. So we thought, well, why don't we use Seesaw as a way of sharing what's going on? So sending home videos and pictures and things. Parents were so keen and there was a real high level of engagement. And then lockdown happened in the March, and it actually worked out well for us that we'd started Seesaw because the pupils were so familiar with the software, and so were the parents, that for that class, the engagement levels with their learning was really high. As soon as we returned in June, my head teacher was really keen to roll out Seesaw across the whole school, just in case that happened again. And as we know, it did happen again. And at this time round, the whole school's engagement was so much better because everyone was just confident. The pupils had been using it in class. I'd worked with teachers, training them how to set tasks and things. And then the parents also knew what it looked like already. It wasn't suddenly this new thing they had to learn without any support. We also have a digital leaders program that started 2 years ago. They went through the Child's Net training program. And I also provided some individualized training to meet our needs. And we've really used that team of pupils for transition. So it's worked at both ends of the school. So we have a nursery that are connected to us within our campus. So last year, around about this time last year, we went into nursery once a week. I would take this team down and they would work with the nursery's little team of digital leaders, teaching them how to use an app or a device of some kind of like little dot and dash robots or bbots and things. And then the nursery pupils would go back and teach their cohort, the rest of the nursery cohort, how to use it. And it was so successful. We really loved doing that. And we can't wait until that's allowed to happen again. But those pupils, those nursery children are now our primary ones. And they still talk about, oh, we remember we learned how to do that. And they still have those skills. They're using apps that they learned how to do a year ago. And actually we're using the transition at the opposite end of the school. This week we have a secondary teacher coming in to work with the digital leaders. They're going to do some microbit work tomorrow as part of British Science Week. And he'll be able to answer questions about secondary school. They've not had any visits yet. So this is like their first sort of chance to chat to somebody from the school they'll go to. And it's sort of using technology as that familiar thing that they'll share the learning, but they'll also be able to have this sort of transition aspect as well. We still have a number of clubs in school. Coding was a big part of the digital award when they received it at the time. So we still have our coding club. We have a STEM club the digital leaders run for younger pupils. And we recently have really got into the world of Minecraft in school. So I've sort of trained myself up in all the things that you can do with Minecraft. And they're all very keen. Obviously, we all know that pupils love Minecraft, and they're so keen to find out what else they can do. So during lockdown, I did a weekly Minecraft challenge. They'd send me videos of the things that they designed at home or screenshots. And I've also been going into class. So I actually taught a class this morning. I went in and taught a digital citizenship lesson that was on the Minecraft education website. And we had a new pupil who doesn't speak any English. She just started this week. And she was able to use Immersive Reader to translate all the instructions into Latvian. So she fully took part in the lesson without actually being able to communicate with any of us, really. So it was really amazing to see. That was like one of the highlights of being able to use Immersive Reader, that it can help pupils to engage in that way. I also run staff working lunches. So once a week, there's a lunchtime when either I will say I'm going to teach everyone how to use this website or app or device, or they'll come and request things. They'll say, could you show us this week, or can you teach us how to do this in Seesaw? And sometimes I have a whole bunch of teachers come along, and sometimes it's just one or two, but that's okay, it works well, and like people really appreciate being able to have that time when they can learn something new. As far as professional development, so that works quite well as well, but we have undergone whole school clicker training this year, and that's something that we're looking forward to taking forward. So we've all received the training, so it's been used across the school, and we're just looking forward to getting our full classes back now so we can start really embedding that in our practice.
That's fantastic, Sarah. You've mentioned some amazing things there and some real positive changes that you've seen over the last 24 months. If you had to choose one or two things that you would like to see continue past this sort of post-pandemic period into next academic year, what would that be?
So I think just the fact that everyone is so upskilled now, like this is probably the peak at the moment when you think about pupils, parents and teachers. So it's like really, we want to make the best of that now. So we will continue to use Seesaw. We'll use that as a way of sharing what's happening in the classroom. We don't want parents to stop using that app now. It's going to be our main method of communication. So Seesaw, definitely. We're also looking at taking our digital classroom and developing one for the younger pupils. So for P3 next year, we're hoping to develop more of a kinesthetic learning environment using the flexible seating, but it will definitely have lots of technology aspects there as well. And the digital classroom for the P6s is now going to extend out and include a makerspace. So we're very excited about what we're going to do with our makerspace and how we'll use that with that class in particular, but there'll be the opportunity for other pupils to come and use it. It'll be a sort of breakout space for those that need some time out of the classroom and to learn some different skills.
Oh, Sarah, that's absolutely fantastic. And thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your journey and the school's journey. And as we say, it is a journey because there isn't really an end point. There's just changes and improvements and developments.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for giving us the time today to share your journey in Rosebank Primary School's journey. Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye.